Off with the then and now, shall we? Here we go. I think I'm lining up pretty well as it is. Now, this is apparently 1939, and because I've double checked my facts on that, I thought it was newer, but apparently it's 1939, and it's here, flooding in the triangle. You'll notice over there, there's a cafe sign, which is the Kenya Coffee House, as was, very popular. Apparently they blew the coffee smell out into the street. And just getting a message on my thing saying something to do with it's going to be coming up soon. Right, so anyway, here's the picture. As I say, that was 1939. All good. And of course there's the Royal Court, was the Royal Hotel, which was sold at a certain point or other. I've actually got a newspaper cutting, I think. I'll pop it in if I can find it, dig it out. Wasn't planning to do it today, but as it's raining and I'm stood here, why not? As I was trying to say, back in 1969, this was the Midland Bank, and sorry mate, this was the Midland Bank, and it was flooded. Here you go, here's a picture. Now I believe that St James's suffered some minor damage, sorry, but this area here, as you can see how the roads go up there and the houses go up there. Well, they didn't used to stop here, they used to carry on down, and all this was like normal little small houses, and this entire area completely obliterated. And that's why these flats were built here, because the all the houses were cleared. Now I can't line this up obviously because I don't know which way I'm looking, but I promise you this is Sack Street just after the bombing. So yes, all this area here was completely taken out and these flats built. So you just imagine the two roads there carrying on down. Anyway, so looking up, these houses here, the backs of those, are going to feature quite heavily in the photo, because this end down here of Alexandra Terrace was completely destroyed. So we're going to see a shot from down there somewhere, looking up at the destruction of this end of Alexandra Terrace and those houses in the background. Here we go. Well, there we go, that's that end of Alexandra Terrace obliterated, but those houses were unscathed. Right, so remember earlier on we were around the back of Powderham Terrace, now we're around the front. Now this actual picture, I will admit I have shown before on the channel, but the second one I haven't. So what we're looking at now, I'm not going to try and line it up exactly because it's a bit pointless. Right in the centre there, that's the Linton House Hotel, okay? And that's the very corner there, you'll see in the picture, as all the houses here were destroyed. So here's the original picture that you've seen before. And here is one you've not seen before, which is a close-up. I believe the same wall. Not 100% sure, but it's definitely Powderham Terrace. It's definitely from the 10th of January 43 at the 2:30 in the afternoon bombing raid. Here you go. Well, that's the end anyway of the World War II shots for today. But in a day or so's time we're coming back to a different air raid, a different part of town, and some more photos. So we'll see that when we see it. At the top of Barn Park, there's Woodlands B&B, which a few people have stayed in, and there's Barn Park Terrace up there, which I know for a fact at least 3 of my subscribers have mentioned to me that they lived there at one point or another. So that's Barn Park Terrace up ahead, so we'll walk up there today. But anyway, it gives you an idea of the scale. I'm not going to be able to line up for the photo, but here's the picture of when it was bombed on the date we're discussing. Here you go. As you can see, quite an impressive and imposing buildings. And what that was over there was the Teignmouth Town Hall. Let me line it up. Here we go. This is roughly the destruction from that day. You can see the toilets down there are still visible. And this was the town hall, and I believe market here. Here's the picture. So that was the town hall and market, as was. And here's another picture, slightly more detail to it. Here you go. So anyway, walking through what was the town hall and market, I'm going to show you a different shot of the front of the town hall, as was destroyed. Be round here, right between these 2 buildings. The one on the right is an Indian restaurant now, and the one on the left is the Laura Wall Art Gallery. But I'm going to go line up now for a picture that's quite good, if I say so myself. Here we go, same building there, same building there. Town hall in the middle. Shocking, really. But there we go. That ends the pictures from this particular bombing raid. There used to be huts in the very last garden down there, up by the view. Kind of along there. And I want you to see a picture that would have been taken from one of the houses up there, looking down that way towards the Ness and the pier and all that, showing the huts in the distance. Here we go. So that was these gardens here, or these car parks now, but they were gardens at the time, in front of these houses. And that was 1944. That picture was taken, 1944. But I've got a couple of other shots of them, a little bit closer up, taken from up here. I'll line it up as best I can. So here we go, not a million miles off. You can see the doctors up there in the middle in it. And here's a couple of the huts. And here's the same hut a little bit further down, with that building, the Courtney, in shot. So there we go. That was the war hut, this end of the seafront, 1944. Of the week, shall we say? Not World War II now, World War I. And here's a group of Teignmouth people getting ready to go off to war. Here we go, roughly here. with the Royal Hotel as was, and the building over there behind it in the background. Here they all lined up, ready to go off to war. Yep, makes you think, doesn't it? Awful. And on another day, a little bit further along, outside the cinema, we have another group doing the same thing. Here we go, another fine group of Teignmouth men, ready to serve their country. R.I.P. Back to our war theme, World War II theme of the week. Here, where the ice cream hut is, used to be a big gun. Yes. Now, I'll view it up from behind the ice cream hut, but see if it makes sense. Okay, so it would have been roughly here, a little bit further back, but I can't stand where it should be because of the ice cream cone. And here we are, World War II gun. Very different Teignmouth back in the day. Want to see it firing? Sure. Here you go. Mad, isn't it? Definitely a different sort of seaside attraction, or a seafront attraction. Crazy. As we walk up towards the observation deck, remember that this used to be not here, this top part used to be a bit lower down, and there used to be seating before they built the top half of the what is now the yacht club. Anyway, so we're going to go straight in with the then and now. Quick photo taken from around where I am now, looking down. Bit difficult to line up because there's too much in the way, but the Coast Guard station is a small hut, and you can see the pier as well. Anyway, here we go. Right, no exact date on that, but it's a start anyway. Anyway, going to go and line up the picture, see what you think of it. Here we go, roughly here. In fact, this back there could be the same piece of wall, or roughly the same position. And here's the stuff on the beach. As you can see, it went all the way along, and it also went along in the opposite direction, but like I say, I can't find those pictures at the moment. But anyway, that's that. Anyway, let's lead into this light-hearted piece I want to tell you about. It's regarding a local character called Ernie Chapman. And Ernie had some fish tanks, which were empty, didn't have any fish. So he put them outside his place, which was roughly here. It's between Seasport Southwest and between the New Quay Inn. So somewhere here anyway. And he said he had invisible fighting fish in there. This is back in 1969. Well, as daft as that might sound, this is where it happened, and I'm going to cut you over to a BBC interview with him from 1969. Hope you enjoy. Like I say, a bit more light-hearted.
Do you see anything? Where's one there? Look. Here, just here, look. That one? Look, there they are, look, they're on that thing. Look, see them in the light? Look, almost invisible. Here, look, here. See how it's moving?
I can't even see any. No. There's that one there.
Only some of your customers don't seem to be too convinced about your invisible Chinese fighting fish.
That might be so, but the simple reason is, like I pointed out, just because you can't see a thing, you mustn't disbelieve that it's there. I mean, so many people today believe in God, they always have, but they've nobody ever really seen him.
Well, how did you come by these particular specimens?
Well, these specimens was brought back a bloke from China, and they did a hell of a job get them back, get them through the bamboo curtain and all this sort of business. Very near lost them the other day, or one of them anyway. The diaphragm on the pump had gone. But anyway, the bloke came down with another pump, he was under a guarantee, we whacked them in, and we started popping around again. That's the only time we've actually seen them. But what mystifies me is this, that when I feed them, even the food don't show up in their stomach or anything.
That is odd,
you've seen me feed them just now, and They just seem to take it. All you see is the stuff move about, and that's it.
Have many of your customers seen them, Ernie?
Well, one particular woman was eating a sandwich in her the other day, and she suddenly jumped up, and she said she saw him. She said, because my friend was there, I didn't actually hear it, but she said that it was a two-pointed fish, but I don't think that's true.
How long do you think these will live?
I don't know. I'm not an authority on fish at all, and I've made inquiries, and nobody seems to know how long they do live. All you do is nurse them, that's all, and use this special food. And when the food's gone, that lasts about 6 months, I don't know where I'll get any more, because I can hardly send to China for it. Even on a rainy day, when people's usually miserable, people look in here and they read that, which is a damn good write-up, I think, and they laugh. And if you can make people laugh on a wet day, well, my opinion is, I reckon you've done a good job.
Well, that's certainly something from days gone by, isn't it? Simpler times.